Armed robbery suspects led police on a chase through the San Fernando Valley to the Van Nuys area.
This is going to get dicey at Victory here.
Actually now in Van Nuys, northbound on Woodley, a high-speed pursuit here adjacent to Van Nuys Airport. This Jeep being pursued by the Los Angeles Police Department on the ground and in the air. This is a possible robbery suspect. Now, that Jeep, a high-sided vehicle, a high-profile vehicle, and we've seen as it's made some turns, it gets a little bit dicey. Definitely speeding northbound on Woodley here by the airport just to the west of the 405 freeway. Again, possibly a robbery suspect being pursued. All right, he's got a red light here. Let's see what he does. If he's going to try, there he goes, a hard right turn. And he has a front tire. The front tire, the right tire, is flat at this time as well. So the vehicle is disabled. Something in the back seat. We can't quite tell what all that debris is in the back seat. But you can see now he is making his way back towards the 405 freeway. He is heading in a eastbound direction on Van Nuys. So we'll see if he tries to get back on the freeway. And this has been going on for some time here in the valley. It was traveling westbound on the 101 freeway towards the Central Valley. And that's where he decided to exit the freeway just to the west of the 405 freeway. He picked up Burbank Boulevard, then Woodley, and now again we are on Van Nuys right through that intersection again at a high rate of speed. No ramp there, so as you can see, 405, he went underneath that, so he's going to stay on surface streets. There's an LAPD helicopter above him, only a couple hundred feet tracking him as well. Remember, LAPD, they are always looking out to keep everybody safe in these types of situations, and if they feel that this pursuit becomes too unsafe to the public, to these motors and pedestrians down below, they will back off, at least on the ground, and continue to track him in the air. Again, a possible robbery suspect being pursued. There's some pedestrians right there. Look at them run across the crosswalk. That couple right there are nearly hit. He's making a southbound, right turn now on Sepulveda. It looks like there could be a passenger in there as well in the front seat from our vantage point, unless that's just the suspect, the driver there. There's somebody else in the front seat there with him. This pursuit, again, traveling throughout the San Fernando Valley, now on Sepulveda, heading southbound on Sepulveda, back towards the 101. A lot of traffic up ahead. And as I said, Bob and Marla, that LAPD is very watchful to make sure that they keep everybody safe down below. And the units on the ground that are trailing him have definitely backed up. That a close call right there, again, making that hard left turn. Bob, Marla. There are two units, but a good, solid, long block and a half behind. So they have pulled off a little bit. They're definitely not trailing him like we've seen other pursuits here. Now this pursuit is making its way towards downtown Van Nuys in a eastward direction on Sherman Way, I believe, here, or Victory. We're going to get a confirmation
Probably
of that.
Victory.
Looks like it's Victory. Weaving in and out of traffic here, eastbound. Again, this Jeep being pursued.
Ooh,
what's
going on?
Something's going on with the engine, or he's making contact with the ground. You can see that front right tire is definitely out. It's wobbly, that rim on that side of the vehicle. Driver and a passenger, possible robbery suspects. That's right. Something on the ground that And looked a bit distressed as well. Looked a bit distressed, as anybody would be in a situation like this. Obviously, again, possibly both of these individuals could be robbery suspects. It was the West Valley Division of the Los Angeles Police Department that picked up this pursuit at first, weaving in and out of traffic, and again, still more smoke coming out, meaning that possibly, and you can see a unit there right on the right, they're positioning, the LAPD is, in advance of this pursuit as well. They do whatever they can to alert the public, but in situations like this, it is really difficult to predict what streets these suspects will go on. But he's doing, just slim. Right up against those now.
To say that this guy is driving recklessly, that's a big-time understatement.
No question at all. And now I am not seeing any units at all nearby, unless I've lost them as well. It does not appear that there are any LAPD units within a few blocks of this pursuit, but there's definitely an LAPD helicopter above, just a few hundred feet above Victory Boulevard here, making an eastbound trek across the valley floor. Coming out of Van Nuys now, he will eventually be making his way towards the North Hollywood and Burbank area if he continues this route. But this was on freeways.
Is this a strategic move by LAPD that this guy or person behind the wheels is driving so recklessly that they back off so that maybe he will, drive a little bit safer, thinking that he got away?
The LAPD has definitely employed that tactic in that there's been so many injuries and fatalities. LAPD leads the state, in fact.
Whoa,
she
just got out of the car.
This woman just jumped out of the car and is now running. She's running into a store down below here. LAPD helicopter sees it as well. We're going to continue to track the vehicle. It's smoking even more now on the back end of it. So the car is disabled. The LAPD helicopter had to have directed ground units to that facility down below. And again, possible robbery suspects, whether or not it was armed or not, that's unclear, but a real dangerous situation. A female passenger jumps out of the automobile. This is something else. Now,
it could have been
slowing
a case.
down a bit.
It seems like it. Hey, get me out of here.
Yeah, we call that a tuck and roll when they literally bail out the way they did. Hey, it looks like both of the wheels on this Jeep here look like they're out here. This looks flat, and that's probably where all the smoke is coming from. It's riding on its rims.
And we just more important here. We just got confirmation. Police have pulled off of this. They have pulled off of this, at least on the ground. They thought it was much too dangerous to the general public. Again, LAPD with all of these pursuits, and we have, Bob and Marla, seen an uptick in these pursuits. I just read that they released, LAPD did some statistics, and we are up year to year. We still have a few more weeks of 2017 to go. 20%. We're covering more of these pursuits because there are more of them.
What's going on with this white truck
these
here?
Densely populated areas here, it really creates a situation where somebody could get badly injured or even killed. All right, here we go. He's going to run. He's going to bail. The question you said about, look at that, just real casually bailing the car. He's got a blue hoodie on. We're going to help out as well. Obviously, we track. And there he goes into some residential facility. Bails his vehicle in the middle of the street here. We will get it. He's running down the alley here. His female companion did the same thing.
And we're still
a few
in Van
blocks
Nuys.
to the west. We're more in Valley Village, North Hollywood. But we're going to keep tracking him from above here as well and give LAPD some surveillance if they need it. But they backed off on the ground here because of the danger that this was posing to the general public. Again, two possible robbery suspects being pursued throughout the San Fernando Valley in that Jeep, which was becoming more and more disabled on the freeway and on surface streets as well. And again, because this could be a robbery suspect, it's unclear if this guy could be armed at this time, and he's just running. Whether or not he knows the neighborhood or not, that's unclear. But what he could be doing, Bob and Marla, is looking for another mode of transportation. We've seen situations, we've covered situations like this in which these suspects bail one vehicle
and he'll carjack
because it becomes
another.
Disabled, and then they'll carjack another, and that's exactly what could happen here. So we're going to have to look at this. See, he's walking out onto the street here.
Yep. There's
an
black and
LAPD
white
unit right there, and let's see what happens here. So. I think he may attempt to do something here and get in a vehicle. But that LAPD, I don't know if this guy knows he's behind it. But let's get this guy. Come on. He's walking up to individual cars here.
Well, we got a chance here. Let's remind you, you're watching an early edition of the Fox 11 News at noon right now. A pursuit now has become a foot pursuit. And as usual, this guy is really losing some steam here.
He's done. They got him.
Yeah,
good job, LAPD. Now he's running.
Okay.
Now he's running again. So we'll see what happens. He sees a female cop running after him, and he's trying to get away. She's going to get him,
Yeah, she got him.
Bring him down. There we go. In custody.
Did he run because it was simply a female cop?
Who knows? You have no idea. But
good for her.
Looks like there was some backup there, and the guy really lost some steam here. And likely realized there was really nowhere for him to go. Now, we do have to point out that there was another person, a female, that was inside that Jeep, and she bailed out earlier.
A few blocks before. It ran into, it looked like some sort of a business there. So we don't know where she is. Again, these are possible robbery suspects. Rick, you're saying this is more North Hollywood, Valley Village area?
Yeah, we're right on the border here. We'll get you a cross street here in just a second. In fact, let's do that now that this this guy's in custody. Again, he left his Jeep disabled, running still on a nearby street here, and it appeared, at least from our vantage point, that he was looking to possibly get into another vehicle to get away because that Jeep had become so disabled. His female companion jumped out a few blocks before. She was able to run into looked like a mini mall of some sorts, but LAPD had eyes on her as well. We'll have to find out if she is in custody. But the driver of this pursuit in custody now here by the LAPD. This pursuit first started when the West Valley Division of the LAPD initiated it, possibly robbery suspects in that Jeep. So let's get the streets now. We'll widen out here and we'll get a better view. More LAPD units showing up. From what we saw, fortunately there were no collisions, but because that car was so disabled, that may have not have been the case. We may have missed a few of those. We'll see what street this is here, but it's in the city limits of Los Angeles, obviously the San Fernando Valley. We're on the corner of a toll, and this major right here, I believe, is Victory. So here in the Valley Village.
Well, it is a victory that no one was hurt, considering how recklessly this person was driving.
You're exactly right. And we saw a number of close calls, both to other motorists and pedestrians. So good thing that nobody, at least from our vantage point, was hurt in this situation. But trying to get away. Again, pursuits here in the city of Los Angeles up 20% this year to year. We've seen more. We're covering more. And we've seen some, some end terribly. And fortunately, this one, at least from our vantage point, did not. There's a disabled Jeep, evidence inside that Jeep. Obviously, it's smoking. It's disabled here, units there. And they're back behind us a couple blocks to the west as well, checking on that location where the female driver bailed out while that vehicle was still moving at a good clip.
Right, Rick. So we are hearing that this suspect may have been involved in a robbery at a Metro PCS store.
Okay.
Just so you know. What about that female suspect? Can we go back to that location since this guy's wrapped up and see if LAPD is there and trying to
go back
get her into
a
custody?
few blocks here. It's a little bit more to the right in there. That's the corner right there. That's where we saw her run into.
Now, if this was in any way an armed robbery, obviously this poses another dangerous situation here because you have someone that was bailing out of a vehicle. We don't know if this woman was armed, and if she goes into any sort of establishment and there are people inside, whether it turns into this foot pursuit would turn into some sort of a hostage situation.
Which is a whole other crime. That
okay, we got it. We do have an update. There she is. That is her right there. Is that not her? That is her. That's the beer and wine store she ran into. She's moving south. We're going to give LAPD info on this, stats on this, making her way southbound. And look at that is her. That is the suspect. We're gonna stay on her. South on Woodman from coming away from Victory. South on Woodman, walking. Now she's going into the construction site.
Wow. Wow.
All right, so we're letting LAPD know that at this time. We saw her run into to that beer and wine location right there. She hung out in there for a little while, thought the coast was clear. Not code 4 here. The first LAPD squad car. No, a slew of them coming up on this facility right here, and they're gonna track her down. Here they go. We got what, five cars coming up, 5 LAPD units arriving on scene here, and they're gonna scour this place and take her into custody.
In the meantime, back over to the other scene, is that guy, are they still there?
Totally. She'll be coming out shortly. All right, here she comes, guys. No, she had a shirt. I think she didn't have that on. Now she's acting like she's barely, look. Yeah, she does. That's what I saw, too. If you are still watching on Facebook, again, this is the female robbery suspect that we saw bail out of the Jeep that was being pursued by the LAPD. And we saw her actually running down the street, trying to evade police. And now she needed paramedic treatment by the Los Angeles Fire Department because she was complaining that her injuries were so significant that she was unable to walk. So she's now being treated by the Los Angeles Fire Department, will be taken to a nearby hospital. but an LAPD unit will follow her and make sure that they stand by as she's treated. And once she's well enough, she will be booked by the Los Angeles Police Department for all the infractions involved. So they moved it out of lane.